Good day, everyone. This is Pineleaf Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. How is the stupid polar vortex coming along?
It seems to be a little better. It's a heat wave of 19 right now, so yay. Yay for
is that
19.
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
What a question. That's a pine leaf question. If I've ever heard one.
I suppose that means it's time to get on with the show then, and we will begin with our chronicle.
You're just going to skip right over the release notes and just go
Well,
right into the chronicle, huh?
No, that's because I opened up the other page and it looks like I went off the show notes page. Oops.
I see. Yeah.
So let's start with the chronicle, then we'll go back to the release notes.
Okay, we can do that. That sounds good. Stupid polar vortex has taken over our header on the chronicle, apparently. Because looks like there's some snow in the Evening Star on the chronicle. That's right, the Rezia ice games are upon us. So if you're into all that, check that out in game. Elsewhere, not much in the chronicle this week. Community Spotlight. DDO Kasplat is returning to D&D night on D&D. Man, every time I screw that up. Every time. One of these days, my goal for the year is to actually say that correctly the first time. D&D Kasplat returns to D&D night on DDO stream. There we go. Having retaken the fortified local outpost, the party begins to unravel the mysteries of the merchant, and they uncover a surprising revelation. Tune in this Sunday, February the 10th at 7 p.m. to check that out. And we actually pre-recorded that. I'll talk about that a little later in the show. That was a very fun game session that we had. Let's jump right into our fan site news section then of our chronicle. Mickey's Delirium, Static Groups meets Sinvala. So check that out. Fridays on Ice is up to episode 113 with Baklagor. DDO Cast had the recent episode Past Life Prioritization Heroic Lives. Part 1. Watch Bard's Life with Doug Glendower. We got a shout out for our episode last week. Click over to see the latest episode of The Damsels of DDO. Axel is discussing the melee cleric build he put together. Don't forget DDO Sunday with Alex. And Hugs Unlimited had their episode 2. And that, of course, is part of D&D Night on DDO stream. And that is the game that Bonnie Bew is DMing. And that is it for our fansite news section. How about our chronicle question of the week, as always?
Right.
Do mimics have their own language?
Why would anything that mimics need a language of its own?
That's what I'm saying. Mimics don't talk.
Well, I wasn't thinking about they not necessarily not being able to talk. I was just thinking that anything that's a mimic, by definition, is imitating something else. Therefore, would use somebody else's language.
Oh, pine leaf logic. Gotcha.
You gotta figure the
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
See, so far this year, we have gotten one pine leaf logic in every show. So the streak continues. Congratulations. The streak continues. And then we have our official screenshot of the week. That is a 10 Skull Reaper Groups achievement is the pick of the week for the DDO screenshot of the week. That is from Karen for sending in that screenshot. Congrats to the Reaper Wing Party on Galanda. 10 Skull Reaper completion.
How can you tell? What tells you that it was a 10 skull completion?
They just said it was, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I just want to make sure that there wasn't anything in the shot itself that...
not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay.
That's crazy,
so they're taking a selfie after winning it, yes.
10 Skull Reaper. That's insane. You people are nuts.
Yeah, that's certainly not something that people do every day easily, I'm sure.
Well,
some
people probably, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not us. Not us.
You know, Certainly not us.
Not gonna see us doing a 10 skull completion on Reaper. No, thank you.
All right. Let's head on into the release notes. 41.3, which was released on Tuesday, February 5th. And is there anything good for us in there?
There is actually the first little note is the barbarian damage reduction will no longer now drop on death, so that's a good thing for all the barbs out there. There was just some typos corrected in the Warlock Enhancement Tree. Dragonsborn Arcanium now properly grants Spell Pen. Stronger bonds from the ASMR Racial Tree now persist more reliably through death and zone transfers. And Color Spray should be properly considered an illusion spell. You might find that because I know you use Color Spray a lot, or you did at one point.
Yeah, I don't think I've got it on any of my current characters.
Say one of the characters we used to play with used Color Spray a lot. I can't remember which one it was. But the big thing out of this patch is Faber rewards. There are new Faber rewards. These have been added where Faber rewards had not existed previously, are where a one-time use is granted. Additionally, the Falconry Universal Enhancement Tree is now available to unlock on a per-character basis through Faber. So if you didn't buy the pack that had Falconry in it, you can now get it through Faber. Tier 1 is going to grant a skill bonus. Tier 2 is going to grant +5 hit points, and that will stack. And then tiers 3 and 4 are going to give you various benefits, including saves versus attack types or monster types, tree accesses, and other benefits. So, quickly, we'll run through these. The Gatekeepers, rank 1 at 75 Faber. You're going to get the Gatekeeper's skill bonus. That is going to give you a +2 bonus to concentration and spot. The 150 rank 2 for the Gatekeepers is going to be that hit point bonus. Going to give you +5 HP. Over in House Jurasco, the rank 1 gives you a +2 to heal and diplomacy. And then rank 2, you get the +5 HP. House Deneth, +2 intimidate and search for the rank 1. HP grant on rank 2. Purple Dragon Knights, +5 HP. They're switching it up with the Dragon Knights. And the rank 4 is going to give you a +2 save to versus evil creatures.
No, with the Purple Dragon Knights, probably they already have a rank 1, maybe. So maybe that's why.
Oh, that could be. That might be. I didn't think about that, but yeah. I usually don't ever
do Purple
work
Knights.
on that much favor for Purple Dragon Knights. So
yeah, are they Waylu for Purple Knights?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Of course. House Bjarlin, rank 1. You're going to get a +2 bonus to hide and perform. The 12, rank 4, 12 save bonus, a +2 save versus spells. And the Agents of Arganescence at rank 3 is going to get you a +2 save versus dragons. Makes sense for Arganescence. Totally makes sense. And then the Harpers, rank 1, you're going to get a +2 bonus to perform and bluff. And then at rank 2, you get that +5 hit point bonus. Then the Free Agents, that's where at rank 4, you're going to get your Falconry Tree.
Now, of course, since I must have bought it since I've been using the Falconry Tree since it came out. Either that or it's a VIP thing.
No, you had to buy it. It came in that... I forgot. What are the bonus packs that you bought for maybe when... I can't remember which one
Whatever
it
it
was.
is, I must have bought it 10 seconds after it came on sale. Or something.
I think you did. I think you bought it right away because you were pretty excited to
about that tree.
Play with Falconry, yes. Elsewhere, other than the big Faber rewards, there is a new feat called the Knight's Training. And they say about that, you have undergone a rigorous military training with traditional weapons of war. These weapons receive one of the following morale bonuses in your hands. The long sword critical multiplier has been increased by 1. Battle axes crit threat range increased by 1 and 2 if you have improved critical slashing. Heavy maces, morning stars, and warhammers. The critical threat range, I should say, increased by 1, and the +4 bonus base attack bonus. Words are easy. Considered a martial feat. Fighter bonus feats can be used to take this. So that's a fun little feat you can play with if you're of the martial whack it in the face kind of player. And there's a few various other things. The other, I think, big thing besides the favor rewards, monsters should no longer aggro through closed doors.
Yay!
Holla freaking Luya for that. But spectral monsters, which can pass through doors, such as wraiths, still can, which makes sense.
Well, it makes sense for them. Now, I just hope that also means that our hirelings won't notice monsters on the other side of doors either.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, we'll have to see if that's.
We'll find out that out very quickly.
Yes, we will. And then monsters should no longer hear players' footsteps. Are players using skills through walls and ceilings? Again, hallelujah. The color of several red dragons have been fixed. Okay.
They've been in disguise.
Did they make them more red? I don't know. Attacking a monster that has a PRR no longer causes your damage values to display in yellow. And that is pretty much the biggest things out of the patch notes. You can click over on DDO players, and I linked the patch notes so you can read everything. But that's the highlights.
Well, they do say that the effects of orange and red dungeon alerts have been adjusted. I hope they've been adjusted so that they wouldn't be so annoying.
Hopefully.
I wouldn't want them to be more annoying.
As we found out when we played last week, we got a orange dungeon alert pretty quickly for really no good reason at all. I'm still not sure how we got up to orange that quick, but anyway, we survived, so that's all that matters.
Yes. Let's go and see what's on sale. Is there anything good for sale this week?
Well, if you're gonna reincarnate, sure. 20% off reincarnations, SP potions, and quest elixirs. That is through February the 14th. And the weekly coupon code gets you a box of chocolates. Makes sense.
Now through Valentine's Day.
So I see what they did there. And then also in the store, plus 2 racial action point tomes and a +1 to a +2 point upgrade tomes are available through February the 10th. But don't let the sticker shock scare you, though. They're expensive.
I would imagine so.
The upgrade tomes aren't bad. If you already have a +1 racial action point upgrade and you just upgrade it to a +2, that's only like, I think 500 DDO points, so that's not horrible.
Yeah.
But
I think I got a +1 to +2 in something, though I think it was a skill rather than racial action. So I did go and buy a +1 so I could put on the +1 to +2.
Yeah. See, that's not bad at 500, but the other one's like 1985 or something like that. Yeah, it's like, it's stupid expensive.
Well, of course, it's probably a bit OP too.
Well, probably, yeah. So
racial action points.
Just keep that in mind. If you're going to buy it, you're going to be spending a lot unless you're doing the upgrade. And then our bonus days is bringing a +25 King of Crafting XP boost. Yay, yay. Now through February the 10th. Yay. I don't craft.
Very well, then. Then let's see what's coming in from the dungeon. And we got our first look at the new Dungeons & Dragons upcoming book.
That's right. We knew that a book was coming out. That was already announced. No idea what it was about. Well, over on the Spoilers and Swags Twitch stream, which they do every month. They do it towards the beginning of the month over on the D&D Twitch stream. Senior Director Nathan Stewart and Game Designer Kate Welch will interact with the fans. They'll tease some things. They'll answer some questions. And this month, they really gave us a tease. They gave us 2 pages from the upcoming new book. Now, as I said, we talked about this last month when they kind of teased that there was a book coming, and it was going to have a nautical theme. Well, we know a little more about it now from the pages that they have released, and if you want to see these pages, you can go over to DDO Players and see them. They'll also be on the screen if you're watching the YouTube version of this. You are going to fight some Sahagwans, it looks like. But what's... Yeah, Swajin. What really is interesting, though, what I find very, very interesting, I am going to go out on a limb and say this is going to be a remake of the classic U3 module, The Final Enemy.
Now, just The Final Enemy or of the entire U series?
Well, I am going to base just The Final Enemy off of the fact there is a line in here that is almost word for word from the Final Enemy module. It says in the preview that you can see, it says, quote, "In the arena proper, 2 Sahagwan warriors are locked in mortal combat, each unarmed and tearing at each other with their vicious claws and bone-crunching bites. They are settling a major grievance in the traditional Sahagwan manner, a duel to the death, using only nature's weapons. They have no possessions." If you go back to the Final Enemy U3 module, that is word for word what is written in that module. So I'm thinking it's going to be a remake of U3, and if you're not familiar with that, that is the 3rd and final module in the Salt Marsh series of modules. So could we maybe see all of Salt Marsh?
As I would say,
Possibly.
why come out with only...
Yeah.
It is a long enough book. It should be able to cover all. Then maybe if you could actually get a proper map of Salt Marsh. Because when I came to do my version of Salt Marsh in Minecraft, it was like, okay, I had to make everything up because, well, there is no map of
Right, yeah.
Salt Marsh because they just said, okay, make one up yourself. This was back in the old days when they didn't necessarily do maps of towns.
So it will be interesting to see what happens with this. Another thing of note, the Final Enemy module, if I am correct, and this is going to be a remake of that, that's set in Greyhawk and not in the Forgotten Realms.
Well, they have been known to amend that.
So, well, that's true. But it's just kind of interesting because Tales from the Yawning Portal and the Tomb of Horrors, which they remade in Tales from the Yawning Portal, and several of the dungeons in the Tales from the Yawning Portal book were also set in Greyhawk, not Forgotten Realms. So, is that a clue that maybe we're going to get something proper for Greyhawk? Could be. I could just be reading a lot into it because, like you said, they do tend to plane shift this stuff a lot and make it kind of like, okay, it's not really, it's in Greyhawk, but it's still in the Forgotten Realms. This isn't a pocket dimension, so they kind of do weird stuff like that. So
now,
we'll see.
When did they really start to do stuff for the realms?
Oh, that was way back in towards the end of 2nd edition, right when about 3rd started, is when they really started to push realms.
Yeah, well, because remember, Salt Marsh came out in 81, which is
so it was
realms was either A, didn't exist, or B, was such a vague idea that
it was probably, I want to say they really started pushing it maybe 87, 88, maybe somewhere around in that time frame. I have my own theory on why they kind of pushed the realms over Greyhawk too, but we'll get into that another day.
I could think of a couple of reasons. We'll think of that another day would be good for that.
So, but anyway, we do have a new book out, and we've got a 2-page preview of it. It looks pretty exciting. Stay tuned for more news on that as we get it.
Actually, if it is Salt Marsh, will it come out of the UK like the original series did?
I don't know. I wondered that too. I have a lot of questions about this now that I'm like assuming what's going to happen here.
Because this is all presumption.
Yeah, exactly. There is no basis of anything we just talked about other than we do see 2 previews of some things, and I jump to a wild conclusion what it's going to be. We'll see if I'm right.
Very well. Then let's go to something even weirder, and that's on the tabletop. Where USAopoly and Games Workshop are teaming together to create licensed editions of Talisman, a USAopoly version of Talisman. Boy, what are we going to get? Star Wars Talisman or something?
I was going to say, did the world really need licensed versions of Talisman? Was this something that, is there a big, like, Talisman fan base out there that's, like, clamoring for, like you said, the Star Wars version of Talisman?
I want to play an Ewok in Talisman.
I don't understand. I mean, USAopoly has a lot of licenses, so they could take this a lot of different ways, and they do fairly well with their licenses. I mean, they've had some misses, but here lately they've been firing at all cylinders. So yeah, this is just okay. Yeah, we're going to get licensed versions of Talismans. And they did say that the partnership will grant USAopoly international rights to distribute and co-brand renditions of the Magical Quest game via distributors, online marketplaces, and beyond.
Instead of the Crown of Command, we go after the White House.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, in all new ways. American politics in all new ways. That'd be a weird version.
That would be a really weird version. But these are going to hit later in the year, and we should get more information soon. So, Talisman's fans rejoice, I guess?
Maybe, assuming you need another version of Talisman.
Very true.
Let's head into our week in gaming. Drac, what were you up to?
Well, I played some D&D with you, or DDO with you, I should say.
Right.
We did House Jarasco. We jumped into the Mysteries of Dalara's Tomb. And then we did Balak's Mausoleum and Red Willow's Runes. We're kind of jumping around from quest to quest to try to like get levels and to be level appropriate when we run stuff. So that's kind of why we're jumping around. We're doing Dalara's Tomb because we want to get our voices. So that's why we're doing Dalara's. And then the other ones, we just needed a little bit of experience to get us to level 7, which we managed to do with the other quest. So I think we'll probably jump back into Dalara's when we play next. I would assume so. And then elsewhere, I played some D&D 5e, as I kind of alluded to earlier in the show. We had to pre-record the D&D Kasplat for DDO stream due to some scheduling conflicts. So that show is going to air tomorrow night as we record this, since we're recording this on Saturday again due to a schedule conflict that I had on Thursday. So you can watch that. We had a fun time. That group is so fun to play with. I am so enjoying that game. So you can check out to see the big reveal that we got. And then last night we recorded episode 6 of Bonus D&D Night. That is the Waterdeep Dragon Heist with the Waterdeep Dwarves plus one amazing drow, and that would be me. And that group is fun to play with, too, because there is, like, this whole change in the dynamics of the group, and things are happening, and I don't want to spoil it because you guys probably haven't watched that episode yet, but things are happening, dynamics are changing, it's getting interesting. So check those two out if you want to watch some D&D 5e with me playing, because I've been playing a lot of D&D over on the DDO stream. Involved in, I think, 3 groups that are running games. So there you have it. Yeah, a lot of D&D, but it's fun. I like it. And that's really all I did. So how about you, Pine Leaf? I see you didn't do a lot as you normally do.
That's because I've been doing 2 things that have been dominating the week. One of them is not on here, and that is in Lotros, they just put out a new skirmish event.
I was just about to say, can I guess you've been skirmishing a lot?
Yeah, that would be a very good guess on there. So I've been doing a lot of skirmishes on there when some weird things that are happening in skirmishes and the likes. And of course, I'm both doing it to do skirmishes and also to collect data on it so I can make a guide on it. We'll see how that goes. But on other fronts, in my solo stuff in DDO, I've ran Oath of Vengeance on my Dragonborn Artificer. And in tabletop, I was playing Arkham Horror, the card game. I did play one more scenario in that. I was hoping to play more than that, but that, as I said, then came the skirmish event. And the other thing was that last week we had the release of a new weekly challenge in Minecraft called Mage Rage. And in this, you have, of course, the usual Minecraft stuff, but you also have some spells available. And the object is to find 9 objects, and you have those spells in order to help you do it. And there are various different spells you could use. There are 11 spells that are available. You can use 5 of them. You select 5 at the start of the challenge. So these challenges probably designed to be done in about an hour. And of course, when it comes to scavenger hunts, it seems to take me 2 hours to do them, especially if you're not used to it. So it took me about 2 hours to do it. I figure maybe once you're into it, you might be able to do it in an hour or something. But some of them might be able to, one of them, for example, reveals, one of them creates water, which can come in handy. One creates lava. I am avoiding lava making spells because I could just imagine I'll just burn myself to death if I did that.
Yeah, you tend to have issues with lava in Minecraft, I think, from what you've said before. So probably a good idea.
And in fact, that's why I took the water spell, so that I could use the water spell to put out any lava I run into.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, and a slowness spell, so you could slow things down. A levitate spell, which I also skipped because I'm pretty sure that I would just raise myself to a high level and then plop myself on the ground to my death. A pain spell, which I tried to use that, and I wound up hurting myself more than the enemy, so maybe I'll avoid the combat spells for a bit. Mining spell. Oh, I use that mining spell a lot. Because that's great for it. An explosive spell, another one I avoid. I hate creepers, so why would I want a spell that essentially puts the creeper at a spot you choose? You know? A blink spell, which is a short teleportation spell. I use that one a lot. Fire. I've avoided fire. I am trying Ice Out right now for the second mage race because the first one was last week and I finished that one. So I just started on the second one. I'm experimenting with I haven't actually used ice yet. I may drop ice for something else later on because I'm using water. I use water quite a bit in this one. I'm using mining. I'm using blink. And of course, I want to find 2 other keepers that I could have. Revealing, I have around. I keep on forgetting I have it, so I keep on forgetting about it. And ice, I'll have to decide on that at a later time. It didn't help that I spawned in a world with a lot of ice in it already, so sort of moot. But that's the way things go on there, is you choose your spells before you spawn into the world.
Okay.
But anyway, that is called Mage Rage. It is a new weekly scavenger hunt series by Ed Case of the Mob Cave. And I'm having a lot of fun with that one. We currently have 21 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including podcasts, mention on the podcast your choice, or be guest with us for an episode of DDO Players. And we did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance, at Players Ally, DDO Players, at DDO Players, Draculetta at Draculetta_72, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, and you can follow Dracula on Twitch at Draculetta_72. And We have two shows here every week. On Thursdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lojo Players News. You can join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that's all for today, and this is Pilot Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.